Adrian.
Ladies and gentlemen, sound on, sound on. You know, you've been looking at Sportswire Radio over the past several weeks, and you've seen a who's who from wrestlers, a who's who of each promotion, and all the latest happenings and everything else in the underground, the backyard, the independents, and the pros. Well, forget about all that because we turn the sound on when it comes to our beloved Five Town Sound athletics program, and especially our Five Town Sound men's soccer team. Because when I think about over the 5 year history of Sportswire Radio, there has been one constant throughout our history, and it has been Five Towns athletics, and especially the men's soccer team. And ladies and gentlemen, these two individuals share the same last name. And as a matter of fact, they played with each other throughout their career. And certainly Adrian at the top has been no stranger to Sportswire Radio. He's been here in the past, and he might have a few years on Saeed, but they share some of the arguably biggest moments that this athletics program has had and some. They're going to talk about their journey that led them to Queens, to Long Island, and now to where they're going to go currently and in the future. And maybe we'll even share some music that the brothers are working on. Plus, I'll have some announcements, and I'm going to present to something these guys on behalf of Sportswire Radio doing something very special for recognizing this team and this program over the past 5 years. Their journey speaks for itself. And in many ways, ladies and gentlemen, when I think about the definition of all sports that matters here, Five Town Sound men's soccer and these two young men have been the definition of that. But not only have they been the definition of that on the field, the way they've conducted themselves off the field is where they'll leave their mark, I have no doubt, even more. And when I think about the definition of 11 hearts beating as one and hear the sound, these guys have been there, done it, they've been through it all, and they get a chance, maybe one more time. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully we have them many more times after this, but officially, one more time to say goodbye to their teammates and say hello to the future and some. I could go on and on and on about our guest tonight. And as a matter of fact, I will over the next hour and some. But I'd like to give them that introduction that they've deserved. And after all, Jason Facina's got it. Brendan Wells has got it. Maybe I'll even ask them about that kind of dynamic between Wells and Facina. Well, maybe not. We'll certainly see. But I promise you that when Adrian Wong came on here on May 8th, 2020, to where we are today, the intro today is way better than it was then. And even when he came on back in late 2021. But let's get right to it. Let's introduce these guys because I've been dying to have them on the platform here. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a loud welcome to Adrian Wong and Saeed Wong. But before I do that, let's formally give them an introduction that I am telling you they're going to want to hear, and I'm waiting to give it to them. So let's get right to it. So with that, wait for further ado here on the Sports Report. Number one, Global Sports Show. You're definitely hearing the sound, and the sound is on because we have here with us from the Five Town Sound men's soccer program, Adrian, Wong, and Side Wong. Guys, how you doing tonight?
How you doing, Tom? How you doing? Thank you for having us on the show. We're very grateful for the opportunity. Doing great tonight. Excited to talk about many things with you. And have a great time. Thank you for having us in the show.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
to
And
be back.
it's
Pleasure to be
it's been a
back.
while, Adrian. It's been a couple of
Oh,
years, and
yes, it
it's
was.
funny. We'll get to Saeed. I know Saeed wanted to ask me something, but I was like in the intro, so hopefully it's something related to what's on the air. But it's so funny. I went back, Adrian, and listened to the interview we did 4 years ago. It's literally almost 4 years to the day, and I feel like my intros have changed radically. You've changed radically, and I think it's kind of where the moment kind of almost cultivates that we get a chance to have you guys on here. And I don't know why we didn't have you on at the same time over the years, but I'm glad we certainly got to rectify that and some. And first of all, it's a tremendous honor. It's not every day, ladies and gentlemen. You don't even get a chance to talk about Five Town soccer, but you get to talk about it with two brothers that actually played with each other. So, first of all, guys, it's an absolute honor to have you on Sportswire Radio. And I want to give a big shout out, as always, to the Five Towns Town Athletics program, and especially our very dear friends, Athletic Director Matt Gershio. Although when I think about Matt Gershio all the time, it's Tom Bryce from Staten Island. Tom Bryce from Staten Island. And yes, Matt, good to be with you. I know you're listening out there, so hope you're doing well and hope you're dry. And also, of course, our very dear friend Jason Facina, the head coach of our team, and he has certainly been in the news of late. I'll certainly get to him in a little while. We'll always have something to say about Jason Facina. But gentlemen, it's an absolute honor to have you here. And I want to go with Saeed first. Saeed, obviously, this was your last season here at Five Towns. Adrian, I know, was certainly been gone a little while. We'll talk with Adrian, get his side of things. But Saeed, now that the season has been over now for a while, we're getting ready to graduate. For those that are listening and watching on Sportswire Radio, where all sports matter, and certainly to all of your teammates, fans, boosters of the Five Sound Sound men's soccer team, have you had a chance to reflect on this season and now your career?
Yes, I have. I have been able to think about a lot of things that went throughout the season, since even the practices that we have throughout the summer until like the beginning of the preseason, towards the end of our season, which took ending in Pittsburgh on
Yep.
November of 2023.
In the tournament,
So,
yep.
yes, it was sad. We had a lot of disadvantages in our side. We had a couple of our top guys, starting 11 guys, injured during the conference final, semifinal. Actually, we had our top striker Eric Gruber. Big shout out to him,
Yep.
one of my closest friends. We had him injured. That was a lot of things that affect us. Even though there were here and there a couple of things in between us that we were not the most how can I say, the most
Well, it was a weird
professional that we
season.
could see.
It was it
It
was a weird,
was.
and I'm glad you brought this up. And I want to say hello to some people that are tuning in, friends of the show, and obviously friends of the program. A lot of friends of the program out there. And it was a weird season because it wasn't the storybook season, but we were able to, at the very least, overcome the odds. And we still, got into the tournament. Obviously, we got in as an at-large. We didn't win the HVAC, but we went into the USCAs. But we also had games that were canceled. We had a lot of things that we couldn't control. There was, I would say, I think it's fair for me to say this. This was the most adversity I think that any of the teams since Jason's took over, I think, have faced it. And I think that in a way, I think we learned more from this season with you, Saeed, and your teammates than maybe even in the magical years, like in 2021, for example. And, what do you think on that? Because I think in a lot of ways you get measured by how you deal with adversity. And I said this when Jason came on the show a few months ago as we had the exit interviews then. And that's kind of what I think, because we had games that were canceled. We had different things with the conferences and, we had guys out. And, what do you think on some of that?
Well, even though that it wasn't our greatest season, I think that this season was the one that we, as a team, connected the most. Like there were literally like no sides. You know that there's sometimes in teams there's a little like rivalry between like a little group, and even though now like the seniors with the freshmen, like sometimes things get a little frustrating, or like the seniors want to like dictate or whatever. But I feel like this season we all were connected as one. So I think that's what like got us through it, with even with all the adversities that we have throughout the season, with the games canceled and a lot of injuries that we had since the beginning of preseason.
Sure.
I think that we still maintain to stay connected and still have that bond between us, so that we can still manage somehow, um, to work hard and get that result that we needed. So that's something that I reflect a lot on this team. That we were the most. I feel like that we were the most connected team. Out of all the teams that Five Towns College has had in the men's soccer team.
Interesting stuff there, and I want to say hello before I get to Adrian. I want to say hello to some friends of the show. I want to say hello to Pedro there. Pedro, how you doing out there, Pedro? We know who you are. Nice to see you. I want to give a big shout out to Coach Facina because he shared our interview link on Instagram. I want to say hello to this individual who I know, and I don't want to tip my hand on how and why and what my involvement is with that, but I want to say hello to one of my buddies who I haven't heard from in a while, Mr. Omen Black. Omen is certainly in our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. He is also a two-time member of our Hall of Fame, and he is the hardcore god, the boogeyman of the Midwest. And he says, "How's it going, gents? Welcome to my show." And Omen is a big Five Towns men's soccer fan. And when I say hello to one of my new buddies, Mr. Nate. And Nate, no, it's not real money, but Nate does say hello. And certainly thank you guys for tuning in and your support. I'll come back to you all. But, Adrian, I know you didn't play on this team, but you heard Saeed's story. Obviously a different one than, some of the storybook years you had here, although personally it wasn't a storybook career. We'll talk about that again in a little while. But, watching the team from afar this year, what did you think of how this season was?
One more time, thank you. Thank you so much, Tom, for having us here. So yes, even though I wasn't part of the team, I was very involved in the team. I'm pretty sure I started a small business of doing barber, giving
Oh,
everybody a
you would
haircut
love to cut
sometimes.
my hair, by the way. It would
Oh
probably take
yes,
between this and my mutton chops, it might take hours to cut my hair at this point. I mean, I'd
yes,
be,
definitely,
but not for
definitely.
sale, by the way. I'm not getting a haircut though, so you have
No,
to
no, no,
wait.
no. That's fine. It looks good. It looks good. It looks
I
perfect how
appreciate
it
that. I
is.
appreciate that. I'm sure Gershio would love to see me get a haircut, but I'm sure Gershio, Tom Bryce from Staten Island would love to see this all cut, but unfortunately, he's out of luck. But go ahead, continue.
Yes, so since I started that small business, I got the chance to speak with a lot of the guys. I got the chance to meet them, and I agree with Saeed. I think I agree with Saeed. That team was unbelievable together. Everybody was connected. No issues inside the team. When one of them was down, the whole team was down. If everybody won the game, if everybody wins anything, they all win together. And in all my years of playing soccer, right, I think that's the most important thing about a team is to be connected.
Absolutely.
Adversity, winning in every aspect of the game. I think when you have a connected team, that's the most important part of it. And yes, definitely not the best, probably not the best season for the team, but definitely the best inside of the team being connected.
Well, what have we always said over the years about the teams here? Whether it was the men's soccer team, certainly the women's basketball team has been successful lately, is that you got to have a family like atmosphere. It's always the 11 hearts beating as one, hear the sound. I mean, I know we joke about it, but the facts are is that in order to be successful in anything, right? It doesn't matter if it's sports, it doesn't matter if what you're doing in business, whether it's all the great wrestlers that come on to Sportswire Radio, whatever else you do. I always think you got to be connected. There's always a word I use. It's synergy. You got to have a synergy. If there's no synergy, you don't have anything, so you won't be successful. And I think that at the end of the day, we were successful. And for you, Saeed, and obviously the team has not quite the success, but we get in to the USCAA. And I asked Jason this question. I'm curious your thoughts before we kind of go into you guys playing with each other, and I'll say hello to some more people that have tuned in. But what was your kind of feeling going into the at-large selection show where they basically gave you guys the at-large? I know Jason thought you guys would get in. It wasn't a slam dunk. I mean, did you expect to get in after falling
Um,
short in the HVAC? Talk to me about that, as I'm curious for the audience that is hearing this.
sure, sure. Well, ever since the HVIAC final, that was I have to say it was one of the hardest my hardest final to have lost, even though the year before we lost as well. But I wasn't on the field last year, but this year I was on the field.
Yep.
I got in. I was like suffering in the sidelines, and then my moment came in where they needed my team needed me, and I stepped up. I know, and all the coaches and my teammates told me that when I went in, I did a great job. And so moving on from there, I think I was going into the USCAA tournament really strong minded. I was confident in myself. I knew that all the work that I have done since I don't even know, since the beginning of the year, probably since the beginning of 2023, because I was focused. I knew it was gonna come in. It was coming down to an end. It was my last season, so I was ready to give it all. So I was very confident in myself, and I went ready. I went ready. I kept training. I remember I would train like before practice. I would have like sessions before practice. Not gonna be here and lie to you that it was every single day, but it was most of the days. Because sometimes like stuff came up. Sometimes I had an appointment or I
Oh,
couldn't
listen,
like
I'm
yeah.
not Coach Facita, so if you told me, hey, you know what, Tom, I didn't go to practice, okay, I'm not going to hold it against you. I mean, Facina might have, but you know what? I mean, you just tell Facina that you no longer. So, I mean,
Yes, 100%. And I mean that's about it. I think going into and also the team, I think we were overall all of us we were a little doubtful that we were gonna make it. But when we lost in that final, I kind of saw a little relaxing mood in in our coach Jason Facina. I kind of saw it in his eyes. He wasn't telling us, but I could sense it somehow. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know. I
remember
could sense it in
speaking
his
with
eyes.
Coach, and I thought that it wasn't a slam dunk, but I'm pretty sure about this. Remember speaking with him that he thought that there was, based on the schedule. I mean, because we had a tough schedule this year. There's no question. I think that we played people that, I don't think anybody could have done what you guys did. We had some marquee wins outside of the conference, so I think that there was probably, I think, an expectation that we would get in as an at-large. So I think that kind of matches that. I'm curious, Adrian, and tell me your thoughts on this. I know obviously you weren't there with your brother this year, but when he's going through things, you've obviously went through injuries. He's also gone through injuries. And did you give him advice at all this year? Did you kind of talk with him about, what he was going through during the season to kind of pull through? I mean, I'm just curious on that for the audience.
Yes, there was times where he was a little frustrated about the results of the game or any injury, any situation that they had in the team. But um, I'm always been supportive to him. I always support him. His every time I get a chance to tell him he's doing good, I'll tell him. If he's doing something bad, we talk about it. I tell him, hey, you're doing this bad. I try to explain. I try to give him my perspective of things, and that's about it. Not really. We don't really tell each other, yo, you gotta do this, and if you want to do it, you gotta do it. Nah, it's not
Not
like that.
even when you were teammates. There wasn't even was it the same way as when
Uh,
you were teammates together? I'm just curious on that.
no, not really, not really. Everything was calm. We will give each other advice. Everything is advice. Hey, you should do this. Why don't you try this? Maybe it makes better. And then it's just that never fighting, never arguing, none of that.
Maybe you were
Yeah.
arguing about Jason Facina's softball skills, but that's a different conversation for a different time.
Oh yeah, for
But
another day, for
Come
another
on,
day.
come
yeah,
on. The Jaybirds, I think they took it home one time.
yeah, you know what? I'm not going to go there, but I am going to go to some comments because Coach is probably hearing this. He's probably on the treadmill, and he says, Tom, I want to kill you right now. And he probably could, but let's say hello to some people. How you doing there? Nice to see you. Omen has a joke, by the
Oh,
way. He says, I don't like soccer, but I'll play it when they hit home runs from the 3-point line and they get punt to slam dunk the ball to make it third base. I know sports. He was kidding, by the way. So Omen should try a career in stand-up comedy, or it's his show. Maybe he could take over and he can interview you guys. But we love Omen. We want to thank him for being with us, and we'll see him also on Thursday here tonight. I want to say hello to one of my buddies out there from the state of Indiana, Mr. Michael Christian. He says, hello, Reverend. I think I'm going to see him tomorrow night on the air, so thank you very much for tuning in. And I also want to give a big plug to the Five Town Sound men's soccer team because I have something that I'm going to play on the screen that promotes the team. So if you want to follow the team, See how we've evolved in technology? Adrian, when I first interviewed you, we were on like a phone call and it was like choppy audio.
Yes.
Now we got like big fancy lights in the background. We've got banners. We've got the Five Towns link. If you want to follow the guys, you can do that here. And of course, they were the Hudson Valley Intercollegiate Athletic Conference champions in the regular season 3 times. And obviously 2019 defeated Berkeley, number 1 ranked 9-4-1. We've won 2/3 of our games just about since Pacina has taken over. And if you want to follow the team, you can look at it right here. And that's all you have to do. Go to FTC Men's Soccer on Instagram. You've got some links for the guys. We're going to talk about some things that they're up to shortly. So these are some things you can keep in touch with. And we want to thank, obviously, the guys here and say hello and talk about some other players here in a few minutes. But, I'm curious on this and tell me your both thoughts. Because, obviously, you guys played with each other. It's very rare that brothers can be a part of anything and, do certain things. We see it in sports and we always look at it in a special way. Just we can count on our hands, right, and how many brothers – play with each other. We do a lot of wrestling on Sportswire Radio, and there's a family called the Rhodes family, and they had famously tag teamed together, Dustin and Cody Rhodes, but now they're in different promotions. There's the Usos, for those that may follow WWE, but they're fighting each other. But the point is that there's very few brothers that get to share in a bond, and what is it like for you guys playing with each other, and especially on that 2021 team where you guys were number 1 ranked in the country, undefeated for as long as you were, went to the national championship game, and go all the way to Virginia, and you guys were basically everywhere. You were the talk, literally, of probably, I would say, not just Five Towns, but maybe even, I would say, the tri-state area in men's soccer. And what was that like playing with each other?
Well, I'm gonna start first, and then I'll give the word to my brother. I think playing with each other, it's one of the greatest experiences that I can say from now that I've had during my life, because the first one to get into soccer was my brother Adrian, but and I would took a little longer. I wasn't really in love with the sport. I would just play it from time to time, but Adrian will train, will do this, will do that, right? And then with the time, I fell in love with the sport around 2019, and then I started training by myself. And then we started training together. When he got back from his injury that he had in 2019, playing for Five Towns, when he got back, then we started training together. And that's how we moved on into the 2021 season. We would push each other. Back then, since like I told you before, I started playing soccer a little late, so I wasn't the most skillful. I wasn't the most athletic because I was a little more chubby. But I think what I had was heart and the will to still get better. Even if I was on the ground 1,000 times, I would still get up, and that's something that I looked up from my brother Adrian, because he was the one who got me into working out. So even if when we fight, I never say it, but I can say it out loud over here that he's one of my greatest inspirations, because he has helped me out throughout all this soccer era that we had.
He was a great player here. Scored 18 goals as a freshman, and he scored arguably the goal that put this program on the map. So not too bad to call him an inspiration. I'd probably call him an inspiration too if I was playing with him.
Yes. So finishing with that, I'm gonna give the word to him to see how he thought of playing together was.
What was it like, Adrian? What was it like playing? Yeah.
I'm just very grateful I got the chance to meet new people and also spend time with my family on my team. I think it was the best experience that year, 2021. Having the best year of soccer in my life, and also being able to celebrate with my brother. I know he said that I'm inspiration to him, but he's also inspiration to me. Even though he was fighting against physical stuff, he was trying to lose weight. He was trying to get on the field more time. I use that too. I saw him fighting, and I try to fight myself too, because I had injuries, as you said before. I had so many injuries.
I remember interviewing you. You had the AC. You played with the ACL the first year. That was the whole thing. And you never, crazy. And you never quite. You should really I know Chavez is going to have all the records, but that should have been you. I mean, we think about you lost COVID, and even in 21, you battled injuries. I mean, unfortunately, I feel like that in a way, personally on the field, it's a what if with you. To me, it's like the biggest what if. And I listened back to that interview we did together almost 4 years ago, and I knew it then, and I'm reminded by it now. I mean, I think that's kind of like the unfortunate part is what if with your career.
Yes, right. Shout out to my boy Angel. You mentioned him. Shout out to my boy.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Yeah, he's destroying teams, man. His goals are amazing.
Yeah,
So
he's got a lot of potential even outside of the school to go places. I mean, that's no question.
yes, no question. Yeah, you're right. And about myself and the what if, I don't really think about it that much. At the moment, yes, I was worried. I was a little worried about the injuries. Actually, when I had an injury, right, the same day I had the injury, I was thinking about, yes, okay, I got this injury. Now there's no time to think over it. There's no time to get sad. There's no time to like put myself in that situation when I was battling with myself in the inside of my mind. No, there's no time for that. I put my mind straight. Just one goal, get back on the field, and that's it. I try my best. I know I didn't have that luck. I try my best, but I don't regret anything.
No,
I
and
did
there's
my
nothing you
best.
could have did. There's nothing you could have
Yes,
did.
exactly. I did my best. I did everything I could. Even if it wasn't in the field, I think I did a great job talking to the team, giving advices. That if that was the only thing I could have done it, I did it. So no regrets about that. So we just leave it at that. The what if.
No, for sure. And I think also, there goes my microphone. I think also what was important to note also was you lost COVID. When we spoke, we lost that COVID year. And, obviously we bounced back and we were number one. We didn't miss a beat. I think that's a testament to that entire team that we were able to, not hold that as an excuse, and we were more motivated than anybody could have, and it just we shot to all those heights. And I think losing COVID, that whole year, that's another what if. I mean, obviously, I think you would have came back on the field. I remember when we spoke, you were rehabbing. I think you were halfway through the recovery, so you probably would have been back that season. But that's a whole different discussion. I don't want to regurgitate or ever think about COVID again. Let's not go there. But I will talk about going on to 2021 for the both of you guys for a second. And, that season, just to spend a few minutes on it, because that is the high watermark of this program. And that's, to me, the season that really put Five Towns athletics on the map. I know, obviously, the women's team has done some great things, and they got a chance to play at Army. And, obviously, the men's teams have had success since, and, we've seen other programs added. But, for you guys, how much do you relive that season? I mean, that's just, you look in sports. I've interviewed a lot of people in my career. I've interviewed athletes. I've interviewed musicians. I've interviewed politicians who got elected and reelected. I've interviewed wrestlers. I just had on a guy yesterday who wrestles for a company with 1.3 million subscribers on YouTube. I mean, so we've had some really important moments. But that season in my career is one of the most memorable things I've ever covered. And I'm not just saying it because you're here, because of being number one in the country, being undefeated, going to the national championship game. For you as brothers, how much do you kind of relive that? And what was that like for you guys together? We're going to say it first, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's always the time that we think about it. It's just a very special moment, a very special year. We were bouncing back from COVID.
Yep.
We had a lot. We had a lot of new recruits, a lot of group people. We had a lot of great players that year came in, including Angel Chavez. Shout out to my boy Angel Chavez, Anthony Campos, Andre Hicklin. We had a lot of good talent coming into the program that year. But and we had a good leadership. We had good leadership, which was one of the greatest strengths that we had that year. We had our captain, Sebastian Montenegro.
No, we had him on. Yep, absolutely. Big shout out to Sabby.
Big shout out to him. He always respect from my part to him, because he was one of the greatest influences that I had here in Five Towns. He was after my brother, he was the greatest like mentor that I have because every time that I would have my head down, he would come and pick it back, right back up. He would help me out through the process. So when we think of 2021, I think from both parts, there's a lot of great moments, great stories, a lot of laughs, and even some tears that we share as a team, as a family that year. But I think that at the end, everything worked out the way it was supposed to.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that. I think that the season, I know we didn't win it in the national championship game, but we had a season that was, I
Hello?
think, for the yeah. I hear you now. I hear you. Hello,
Can you
Saeed.
hear me?
I hear you, Saeed, loud and clear.
I can't hear you. I don't know what's going on.
Well, we'll certainly try to figure you back out. Adrian, you're back with us while your
Sorry,
brother
yeah,
tries
sorry
to.
about
Yeah,
that. I think my
Oh,
my service is
hello?
failing me.
yeah, I hear you. I hear
Okay.
you. Okay, Adrian, I know you're out on the road now. I'll try to be as quick as I can with these questions. Just the 2021 season, I know I had you on after it, but is there anything you want to share in that experience being with your brother and just how special that was?
Oh, what can I say, man? I think that became my family. My family, yeah, that became my family. All the moments I lived over there up in Virginia, um, even though we lost, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I think it matters. What it matters is all the memories that we made and all the good people that we met and enjoying it with my brother. It was just the best year of my life, probably sport wise. Yeah.
I think pretty much in the school's program, that's a moment of time, and I still remember it like yesterday when Gershio had called me in Virginia and was like, this could be it. I could be a champion, and we got there, and we hung in there, and we did the best we could, but we rose to the occasion as best we could, and I think that we're all champions no matter what, and especially for you guys and playing with each other. I was curious for both of you guys, as I know Saeed's trying to figure out his Wi-Fi connection, and certainly, hopefully, in campus we get better Wi-Fi there. Maybe we can certainly work on that in school, but I'll also keep that at that because I don't want to get thrown off the air by the school's athletic department. But I did want to ask you guys in terms of who were some of your favorite teammates throughout your career at Five Towns.
Um,
You have any favorite teammates? Anybody that was, somebody
I
that
mean, not favorite. I think it was everybody. I don't have any special.
great political answer.
Yeah,
I just
nah, I can't say I got one favorite teammate. They all play part in my career. They all play their role in my journey during the school. So I can't say I got my favorites. I just can say I'm very grateful for every single person that God put in my way. So yeah, I don't have any favorites.
okay, fair enough, and fair enough. Saeed, I hope we're back with you now. I
Um,
was yeah, good.
Tom, I can't
Yes.
hear you for some reason. I don't know why. I can only hear Adrian.
That's a good question. I don't know that answer because I hear you
Sale,
perfectly.
yes, sale y vuelve a entrar en el link, en el mismo link. Haz lo mismo de
Okay.
vuelta. I just explained it to him because that happened to me before too.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just telling him
Okay.
to get up the link and then
We
exit
come
out
back
again.
in. Okay. So let me ask you then. We'll wait for your brother to come back in. And I was
Yes.
curious, though, also in terms of, outside of the school team you played for, were there anybody, let's say, outside of the men's soccer teammates that you bonded with most from other teams, whether it was the women's basketball team, the men's basketball team, the women's soccer team, even the esports program? Was there anybody that you bonded with most from those teams?
Yes, absolutely. I think I can say one name, Judith. Judith Giron's from the basketball team.
Yes.
She's probably one of the funniest people I know. She basically became my best friend. So yeah, shout out to her. She had a big season this past
Oh, the
season.
women's team
She was
was
coming
just
out.
like they were
Yeah,
awesome this
she
year.
was coming out. She was coming out the same injury I had. So I gave her all my support. I try to give her advices make her feel like she's not alone, because I know how it is when you're there with the ACL injury. It's not the same as probably any other injury. I think it's one of the worst injuries
Oh, it's in any
an
sport.
athlete could have.
Yeah, in any sport. I mean, we do a lot of wrestling on here, and wrestlers
Yeah,
get this injury, and it takes them like a year to come back. There's a famous one, Charlotte Flair, right now, who just tore her ACL, and she's trying, but like we still don't think she's going to come back until at least another 4 or 5 months. She's already been out for 4 months. It's a real
yeah,
ACL. It's we see it all the
exactly.
time. It's a very hard injury to,
Yes,
to cover
exactly.
recover
And
from.
and like I said, I know it's hard to come back from that injury. So I try to stay up with her. I try to give her advice. And luckily she made it. She's playing really good. So I'm so happy for her. I'm really happy for her, and hopefully I see her playing back in Barcelona in Spain
Yeah,
one
and then
day.
obviously before I get to Saeed, we'll see if we hear him in a second. Jordan Tobin gets a professional tryout. I mean, that's a
Of
really big
course,
deal. I mean, what a massive thing that is for the
yes.
program.
Shout out to Jordan too. She did so great. Another year being so great. I'm really happy for her too. I got the news today, just today.
I
I
heard it. I
didn't
think
know about
yesterday
it.
it was on
Yeah.
It was on Instagram yesterday. I was like, oh boy, that actually
Yeah.
was like that was one of the reasons. I'm like, you know what? Let me talk to the guys because, like, I know Damani Merritt is playing sort of still in kind of a league, but the fact that she's getting a pro tryout is like this is monumental
Yes, man. Is one of the I think it's one of the most important events we had in this school.
for
Yes, a
sure.
player from our school is getting a pro trial. So yeah, good luck to her. Much love. I love her. She's one of the greatest friends I have in the school. And good luck to her. Yes.
Absolutely. We definitely wish Jordan well. It was a great honor to have her on. Saeed, I hope we can hear you now. And I was curious in a couple things. Did you have a favorite teammate throughout your career? And did you have anybody that you were close with on some of the other teams?
Um, you can hear me? Can you hear me? Just
Yeah,
making
yeah.
sure.
I heard you the whole time. Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. Yeah, I couldn't hear you. Sorry about that. So everybody, well, for me, it's kind of the same thing as Adrian. I have like, and that's something that they every team that we have throughout the years, they have like recognized of me that I don't know, I have this little thing that I like to get everybody together. Like sometimes the years that we have, some people like have a little like a little group over here, a little group over there, a little group over here. But I always try to like maintain us together. Like even if it was like they always like texting me, yo, like texting the chat because like they like to do this and like we can all go. So I don't really recall having anybody favorite. I do have some of my closer friends from the team, of course, that they have just like been even outside. We can give a big shout out to Steven Boguara.
Oh yeah, and Steven, of course, was
He
honored this year, as senior, and what a career he had. Steven, I mean, how many big saves did he make for us the last few years? I mean, we wouldn't be anywhere without Steven Pagoya. I mean, just unbelievable career.
Yes, 100%. He is one of the persons that guided me every time that I was up on the field. I always told him because we and him we got really close. That first COVID year, that first semester in COVID in 2020, we didn't even speak to each other. We only said hi a couple times, and then next semester we ended up having a class, and we became really good friends ever since that we till now. We are not just friends in the field. We go out, we do this, we do that. So maybe if you really want an answer on that, maybe we can give it to him. Out of everybody, he's the one that has gotten the closest one out of everybody.
Absolutely, it's a good one. I think Steven meant so much to the school and so many of those moments. I mean, how many big saves did he have over time? And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice of all wrestling, also we're all sports matters. We are speaking with two of the key players over the years from the Five Town Sound men's soccer team. That is Adrian and Saeed Wong. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, they are brothers, and they were a huge part of why this program has had success after success. And if you're here on Sportswire Radio for the first time, hit that sub button for us on YouTube at Sportswire Radio 6579. We're on Twitch at Sportswire Radio, Twitter at Thomas Bryce 2017, and please support the Five Town Sound men's soccer team at FTC Men's Soccer. In about 15 minutes, I'm going to have something for the guys that I'm going to present on behalf of them to hopefully they can give it away to recognize something. I want to certainly get to that as well. But before I do that, guys, I want to talk about music because you guys are actually doing something else outside of school that I'm going to actually put up on the screen here shortly. And I was curious I knew Adrian from years ago, you always had an interest in music. I know the family has always done different things. I've seen some of your videos in the past. I think was it with Angelina Iononu, I think was when she was in the school, she would sing, you would play guitar, if I recall correctly. And
Yes,
I remember,
yes.
I remember always seeing stuff on Instagram. You were in campus. You always were doing some type of music. But you guys have now been bonded once again with music. And do you want to talk about that for the audience before I put up on the screen some stuff you're working on currently?
Yes. So everything, I think everything has started back when I was 12 years old. My parents, they introduced me to a guitar course, so I started playing guitar back then. After a while, I stopped playing for a little bit when we moved to United States.
Mm.
And right when I started going to Five Times, I realized that that was a kind of like a performance school. So I met a lot of people who can sing. I met a lot of people who can play guitar. So I started getting into music again once again. And recently, when Saeed, because I was not supposed to be an artist, I was not supposed to be a singer. Recently, when Saeed started getting into music a little more, he started going into studio sessions. He started meeting more people. I was there. I was always with him. So, one day, we were at my friend's house, and me and my friends had started making this new song, and I was just doing it as a joke. I was doing it just because we were bored. And but that night, Saeed had a studio session, and he had time to spare for at the end of the session. So I mentioned it to him, and he said, "Oh, I mean, let's do it. Why not?" So we recorded this song, the first ever song for us, which is Quiero Llevarte, and that's the third one.
Yeah, well,
Go ahead.
I was gonna pull it up. Yeah, there you go. Well, let's play. Let's actually play it actually before we do anything, because I actually have it right here.
Yes, yes.
There we go. There we go. Go right back to it. That's not the one. We're gonna go right back to it here because I have it here right on the screen. So
The
we're gonna play.
first
I think
one.
is it the first
Yeah.
one right here? I'm looking at.
On the right. Yes, the first one on the right. Yes, that's the very, very first song by Wongs.
Wow. Okay, you're getting the first here
Yes.
before you want to go out and buy and download. Here's some of the music for a little bit. What are your memories here of recording the song while we hear it?
Hoy tú te
Oh,
ves divina, esa combi Versace, yo te quiero ver. En el Porsche Cayenne vamos a bellaquear, yo te
I think
quiero
is a
comer.
goal that I accomplished
Tú eres
because
una
I
Barbie
really
que es
wanted to
tan
have
hermosa,
Wong's
puedo
song
ser
under
tu
my name.
Ken,
I really
pero
did it,
solo
man,
por
and I did it.
hoy. Mami, quiero llevarte toda la noche por el Gerard, de la mano pa' que vean. Vámonos tú y yo pa' Marte, porque todos presean, yeah, y a ti te gusta tan nena. Y yo quiero llevarte a un paseo por las nubes. Quiero decirte las cosas que yo nunca pude. Iluminarte soy otra mami como estas luces. Sacarte solo a ti te luce. Tenerte de frente como en mi mente. A la noche tú me tienes impaciente. Dame solo un minuto, mi vitra pa' comerte. Y como sea tú me tienes presente. En tus sueños me
All right, we're gonna obviously, if you want to go out there, you can go on the YouTube channel and see it.
Yes,
And I
sir.
wanted to play a little bit of it. I want to spend a few minutes on. I obviously want to come back to the soccer team, but for you guys, what were some of the inspirations in making the album and the music? I mean, I hear some different things, but I'm curious for you guys. What were some of your inspirations in making this?
Saeed can go first in this one.
Well, I think I mean, personally, me in the story of the making of this song, when we were at that friend's house, I actually was sleeping the whole time that they made this song.
What a story, Saeed! I'm expecting like a totally different thing, and you're telling me you were just sleeping. Okay, I guess.
No, but I mean, it actually picks up because I was sleeping, right? And then from time to time, I would just like wake up, like look at them, and they would be like singing, and I would like listen to it, but then I would just go back to sleep. And then that night, we had it was actually one of our last practices before we departed to not Virginia, I mean Pittsburgh.
Yep,
That
it
was
was
last
Pittsburgh this
fall.
year. Yep, yep.
Yeah, we before departed to Pittsburgh. I think it was a Monday. We were leaving on Thursday, so it was really close by, and we had a practice in a nearby field. And then after that, we go to the studio. I go to the studio. I was supposed to do a song of mine, and then I did it, right. Then Adrian comes in, and then he tells me like, "You want to record?" And I was like, "Okay." So you go record because he had written, and he knew already what he's gonna say. And I was like, "And I'm gonna go and write down my part." And from then on, to be honest, all I thought about it was just like I'm making a song with my brother. Like the lyrics needs to be good. So I was just thinking about how much I enjoy writing music because that's how everything started. I started writing lyrics one day without even listening to a beat. I was just writing it throughout my head. I was just freestyling and then writing lyrics. So I think all that combined in my head was a key inspiration for me to like be able to write down the song in such a short time because it took about 30 to 40 minutes
Oh,
for my brother to record because we only had an hour left for the studio session to be finished. So he took like 30 minutes, 40 minutes to record, and then my part was shorter. So in between those time, I wrote down the lyrics and then I went in and we recorded. So now we're gonna let Adrian see his perspective of things.
Well, inspiration, not really. I think at
no.
the moment when I wrote this song, I was just bored. I was just bored, and I had it in my mind. I said it to myself. I need to have a song, one song. I'm not. I wasn't trying to be an artist. I wasn't trying to like make it a whole career, but I was just trying to have one song. But after we make that song, I think after showing it to everybody, after we show it to our friends, to our families, I did realize that they actually liked it. They actually found it like a kind of like a good song.
Very
So
atmospheric. It's very atmospheric.
yes, yes,
You know.
very catchy. A lot of
Yep.
people tell us it's very catchy. So after that song, we talk about it. We really had a deep conversation about that. So we ended up deciding to become what we are now, Wongs. We created this duo of
And
Ecuador
the
brothers.
video is taking a life of its own. It's got over 1,000 views on YouTube. So apparently, people seem to like it, and they want to hear more music from it. I think your most recent videos already got well over 100 views in a couple of days. I think that shows that you guys have made a mark. And I have to ask you a question. I want to say hello to our friend Danny Valverde. Danny, how you doing? Good to see you. He puts EC. I want to say hello to my buddy Levi McDaniel. But would you ever consider making music for the team? I just thought that'd be kind of cool because you always see in sports, right? We all need music. I mean, would you ever make something for the guys? I don't know. I just thinking about that off the air. Would that ever be something that you'd want to do? Make music for the team?
But may I ask, just to be more specific, Tom, how specific you mean like making music? Like making music about the team or making music like maybe you say like to inspire the team while like
I
while
would
they're
say it
warming
doesn't
up?
have to be not about the team, but I would just say something that could put the team in the mood, to where it helps them. It doesn't have to be lyrics about the team. It could just be, something for the guys. Because obviously, we all know music is part of life. Music, we always hear it in sports, right? You hear it in between, let's say, warm ups or during a game or something that gets the team ready after a timeout. And I just thought that'd be kind of cool because you guys are aspiring musicians and what the guys like. So I thought, maybe there would be something there to that. And I thought that would be a great way to continue what you guys have brought to the program, just off the top of my head.
Yes, I mean 100%. I feel like now that you have mentioned it, to be honest, I've never thought about it before, but now that you have mentioned it, it's not really a bad idea. I mean, the guys, they like the song. I mean, it seems that it's genuinely like they genuinely like it, and
A
the
lot of
guys,
people have liked the song. I like the
yeah,
song, and over 1,000 people on YouTube seem to like it.
yes, yes, and like for example, like a couple of days ago, we had one of our big shout out. He's my favorite freshman from this year, Christian Torres, coming
Yes,
from
yes.
Brentwood. Yes, player from Susa. He's a great player. Still, can have a lot of improvement. Obviously, everybody has a lot of improvement, but he's a great player. Big shout out to him. We had a birthday celebration for him at his house, a birthday surprise party, and then we played a song. Some of the guys, they were all singing the lyrics, and like it caught my attention because like I didn't know that they actually like know it that much because they would just like sing from time to time. You know, when we were at practice, a little like mumbling, but they never like actually sang the song. So I was like really surprised to see it, and like my teammates that they were like showing that kind of support for our
Sure,
music, for our
sure.
music. Yes. Who
That's
knows?
pretty
We're
cool.
gonna think about it and see if we can come up with a song that we can
What?
play. I actually have a little deal with Coach Jason. I said that he'll get the guys to be in a music video, and we're gonna be wearing the 5 tons shirt to be give it a big shout out. Get some recruits, who knows from where, maybe from West Coast, some good recruits, and hopefully we'll get that. I would like to do that.
I would love to see that, and I'm hoping to get a chance to watch some of the guys in practice later this summer when the guys get ready for this season. So hopefully we all get a chance to do that. And obviously, if you want to see some of the music, you can see it on the guys' YouTube channel. And also, I'm going to pull up the link before I get to Jason Facina. I'm actually going to pull up some of the links. And if you want to follow the guys, that's where you can. YouTube, that's their actual channel. So click on the link. It's going to get you right there. Instagram, get you to all the links, all the music, all the stuff. The guys in the studio, the guys, have a lot of followers out there, a lot of fans, and, join the movement. I've supported. You can follow Adrian there personally, and there's some of the Five Town stuff in the background as well. But I did want to ask you about Jason Facina. Obviously, Coach Facina has been integral to your guys' journeys, and also the news lately that last week it was announced he's going to be the head coach of the United States amputee men's soccer team. And obviously, Paige Palazzolo was here a couple of months ago. She's the coach of the women's amputee soccer team. And I was wondering what you guys thought about that, and also obviously what Coach Facina has meant to you in your careers and your journey here at Five Towns.
I'll go first. I got a lot of stuff to say about this man.
Oh, good. I want to hear
I
it.
can't be more proud of him. I can't be more proud of him. I know he's been through a lot throughout the years, and he has done a lot for us, for the school, for the people that is around him. He's not worried about himself. He's more worried about everybody else around. He makes sure that everybody's okay, everybody's doing good. When we don't go to class, when we are failing classes, he's worried like an actual dad. So everybody felt that. Everybody felt that, and I
Now,
think
if I
that
had that when I was in school, I would maybe not be on this microphone and life would have been different. But then, who knows? I wouldn't be talking to you guys. So,
you're right. And man, this step that he took about the amputee team, I'm really proud about it. I'm really proud of him because it's not really easy for him to start doing a different team.
Yep.
So I'm really proud about him. He gave me the opportunity to be in the team in 5 tons. He was the one, and can't be more grateful about that man. Can't be more grateful. Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. Vir Saeed, I mean, obviously your time's coming to an end this year, but, Jason, and what did he mean to you, maybe on and off the field?
Well, this is a really interesting topic. Me and Coach Jason, we have always have a little complicated relationship, but
Oh, okay.
it has always ended up with us being on the same page, and he and him wanting the best for me. It was always we had a little frustration moments, a little arguing, about stuff in the field, a lot of stuff, things that are meant to improve. But I personally think he has always looked for my best interests on and off the field. Of the field, we know Adrian mentioned it before. Coach Jason sometimes he is with his family or he's doing something that should be more important, but he takes the time off of that to make sure that we are going to class, that we are doing our community service, that we are working out, that we are getting prepared for our season. He has always been worried about that. He has always wanted the best for the men's soccer team.
Absolutely, no question about that. We want to congratulate Coach Facina on becoming the head coach of the Five Towns Sound, not only the men's soccer team, but also as the United States amputee men's soccer team. That is a tremendous accomplishment, and Coach, congratulations on that. And obviously, we're looking forward to seeing what the men's and women's teams do, especially that they're locals here. Paige is obviously from Long Island. Coach Facina is from Long Island, and I'm really looking forward to the future of that, and maybe getting Coach on the show in your spot next Tuesday. And before I do that, gentlemen, I promise I'm going to take this off the screen for a second. And by the way, before I do that, this is the guy's Instagram channel. So if you want to follow some of the music, some of the stuff they're doing one more time, you can catch them here. Some of the music, some of the guys' stuff in the studio, just them hanging out, having a great time. And these guys are awesome. Make sure you support them. I endorse them. You should too. But as I promised, and I know we've only got so much time with you guys, there's something I wanted to present to you guys tonight on behalf of the Five Town Sound men's soccer team. This is a special day to have you on here. And, it was just over 4 years to the day, Saeed, that you decided you were going to declare your intentions to become a Five Town Sound men's soccer player. And Adrian Wong, as I stated, it was on May 8th, 2020, that you actually came onto Sportswire Radio. So in recognition of that, I want to present to something on the screen for you guys to see that hopefully you would say yes to. And I think hopefully the fans of the school and certainly the coaching staff and your teammates might want to see that this would be a really special thing that we would like to recognize you guys and the entire team on behalf of Sportswire Radio. Only if you guys insist, by the way. So I'd like to put this up on the screen. Only if you guys insist. Okay, we're gonna do it. Okay,
yes, 100%.
Okay, gotta make sure. I always like to ask permission first because people go, don't do this, don't do that. But since we are live, I wanted to make this a special day because on April 2nd, 2024, on this day, on all Sportswire Radio platforms, including YouTube at Sportswire Radio 6579, Twitch at Sportswire Radio, Twitter at Thomas Price 2017, Instagram at The Sports Report 2021, SportswireRadio.org, Facebook at Sportswire Radio, and even on my LinkedIn page, and on Tumblr on Sportswire Radio. That on all of our platforms, April 2nd, 2024 day, it is I may repeat myself because I'm so excited about it. On April 2nd, 2024, on all of our platforms, it is officially now Five Town Sound Men's Soccer Day. So that's it. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. All of our platforms, you guys are being recognized for all the support you've given us, everything you've done for the school, everything you've done for Long Island, the game of soccer, and I wanted to give you guys something back in exchange for all of your support of me, Sportswire Radio, over the years, and I wanted this certificate to go out to the entire team. Obviously, I will send that to you guys off the air, but as I stated, on this date, April 2nd, 2024, on all of our Sportswire Radio platforms, Twitch at Sportswire Radio, Tumblr at Sportswire Radio, Facebook at Sportswire Radio, YouTube at Sportswire Radio 6579, SportswireRadio.org, Twitter at Thomas Price 2017, Instagram at The Sports Report 2021, and even on my LinkedIn and my personal Facebook page at Tom Bryce, it is Five Town Sound Men's Soccer Day. We definitely are hearing the sound loud and proud because we are recognizing you guys and all of your teammates throughout the years for everything that you've done, and as well as the coaching staff, boosters of the program, and congratulations, guys.
Thank you so much,
man. Wow.
Wow. Without Five Times Men's Soccer now has their own day.
That's what I wanted to go. I wanted to go the extra mile because you guys have been so great over the years with this program. I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for those that supported me from the beginning. And this school, nearly 5 years ago, wanted to continue to work with Sportswire Radio through all the things, all the kinks. And I wanted this moment to be special, to bring you guys on and to do something in a way to say thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for me. this platform, giving me an opportunity to support you guys, get to know you, become friends, share this story with others out here around the world. And that's why I wanted to make this day a special one. And hopefully the next stop maybe for a bunch of you guys could be in this Hall of Fame that we have called the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. So hopefully maybe you guys want to have your next stop into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. But for this day, we wanted to, like I stated, wanted to give you guys something to recognize you, because I think for everything you've done, winning the HBIACs, being the USCAAs, #1 in the country, all these great things, let's do something to recognize you guys for a change. And I wanted to be able to do that. And I just, again, want to say one more time, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
First
Thank
of all,
you.
round of applause for Tom, please. Round of applause for Tom, man. We're really grateful. It's not what we have done for you, it's what you have done for us, man. Really appreciate all the hard work that you have done for us. Every time you have brought us to the show, every time the coach has been here. Thank you for everything, man. Thank you. We really appreciate it. And this is amazing, man.
No, well, you guys definitely deserve it. I think it's about time, because you know what? Listen, I don't want to go speak too much about it at the moment, but there has to be a moment in time when you guys get maybe inducted into a Five-Town Sound Athletics Hall of Fame, but that's a conversation for a different time. But on my platform, we do have a Hall of Fame, and I certainly want to put a bunch of you guys and your teammates in there. Maybe we should even put that entire 2021 team in the Hall of Fame. That would be something, I think, for the ages, because I think, especially what you guys, I mean, Facina might get off the treadmill right now. He might fall off the treadmill right now after hearing that, because that probably certainly really perks some ears. But, obviously, I wanted to ask you this question, Saeed, in terms of, first of all, what do you want to say to all of your teammates that you're leaving, and you want to say to them maybe as your final words, but also what do you want to say to some of the seniors that you're also graduating with? And, address those two groups here first.
Sure. So first to my teammates that I'm leaving, we kind of already had a little goodbye right before our last final game in our home field. But I guess what I just have to say to them is just enjoy the moment. Really enjoy the moment. Like, really take a second and just think about what you're leaving right now, because it's one of the greatest experiences in life that I never thought I was going to be able to live. But I did, and I'm very grateful for it. Even with the ups and downs, that's, I think, the best thing that I can tell them. Like, you think right now, they're probably thinking like, oh, it's 4 years. It's going to go by really slow. That's what I thought when I first came in that fall in 2020. But it went by so fast. And I'm like a month away of graduation, and I can't even believe it, because soccer became like a huge part of my life. And I feel like right now that soccer just ended, it's like a part of me, like, finished. Like, it's dead. But I'm always going to have love for soccer, and I'm always going to love the sport. I'm going to tell them, be passionate about it. Be passionate about it, and guys, work hard. Work hard, because talent can just get you so far. But working hard and having discipline is going to get you places that you never thought possible you were going to be able to get, not only in soccer, but in real life as well.
And you guys are doing that with the music as well. We got a chance to hear some of that music. And if you have been here now for the first time, you can go back and watch some of that. For you, Adrian, I know you've been away from the program, so I'm going to ask you a different question. For you, I know October 23rd, 2019 is the moment that put this program on the map. And 2021 was the season that we're going to remember 50 years from now. But for you, Adrian, in your career, now that the dust is settled, is there one or two moments or a few things that stand out most in your career at Five Towns?
Yes, of course. All right. First of all, that very first game against ESF, everybody on the conference thought that we were just a small team from Long Island. We could have done anything else. We went against the champions of the tournament, ESF, and we tied that game. And even though we tied that game, I think I still remember it as a win because we settled something on the ground that it was put out there to the future. We put our five times college name so high that everybody
Put
started
us on
knowing
the.
us. Yes, and after that, I think the my favorite moment, it was that goal that you were mentioning before, that goal against Berkeley, and in 2019, we were tying 3-3. It was like I think it was like 10, 15 minutes left of the game,
Yep.
and I think I got a rebound in the close to the box, and I hit it so hard. I really wanted that ball to go in, and it did, man. And I think that's one of my favorite moments. After that is 2021, back again that year, that the whole year. It's not just a moment. The
Oh my
entire
God, you
year.
guys, what you did being number one in the country, and everybody was
Winning.
talking about you. I remember every week on my show, I had just around that time had transferred to video. So I was a podcast before that, but now I'm live. So I remember Friday nights I would go live, and we were on the air because I have a radio station as well, which is at sportswire.org via the listen live button, the link below. And I would always talk about you guys every Friday. It was like you guys were like such a story. You guys, this little school that a few years ago we didn't know was going to exist, didn't have a real good field, and it was like we just had nothing. And it was like we went from where Jason Facina was standing on the field with Matt Gershio and could we do this? And it was like, yeah, I think we can. And then in that season, number one in the country, rode it all the way to the national championship game against these powerhouses. And it wasn't just that. You guys beat Division III teams. Now, I know we've done that since then. That's propelled us into the USCAs again, but you weren't just beating teams. You were beating teams even in the NCAAs. And I think that speaks volumes to just that season and where it put the program in all sports. Look at what the women's team did playing Army this year, right? Look at what Litwin's doing with the women's soccer team. We have an esports program. We've done so many different things here at Five Towns. Corey Jakes. I mean, Coach Jakes is a guy that's, had NBA experience. He was a very decorated player in his own right. He's here at this school. Jeff Litwin is a phenomenal guy. Thomas O'Keefe was here for a while. Look at our coaching staff with Coach Morelli and obviously Coach Wells. Not even going to go there between Wells and Facina at the dinner table. But the point is that season to me said, you know what? Five Towns is an athletics program, an athletic school that, you know what? People can go there, they can have careers, and now it's even crystallized with Jordan Tobin and Jordan Tobin getting a pro trial. So that to me, that season, I think that season and everybody in that team, if I have my way, now again, I don't know how Facina is going to feel about it. I don't know about Gershio, but I'd like to induct the entire team into the Hall of Fame because I think that season, what you guys did, I think it deserves recognition. And again, I don't know what this school is going to do for that. I don't work for the school, but on this platform, I'd like to recognize that 2021 team and put you guys where you belong to be permanently remembered in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Tom.
you so much.
That would be a great pleasure, a great honor. I know if I can speak for myself, for my brother, and for all of our teammates from that year, which we still still in the team with some of them.
Absolutely.
I think they will all be thrilled, to be honest.
I think that we should, obviously it's, I extend the offer. I extend the olive branch. I would love to do that. I know the guys that are currently on the program here, that's obviously, it's not my jurisdiction, but the guys that have graduated, I would like to do that. And I want to obviously recognize some people here before I get to a few more things with the guys. I got about 15 more minutes. I'm going to be respectful of their times. Want to say hello to Janie Martinez. Want to say hello to Danny Valverde again. Obviously, another one of your teammates. You guys want to say something about Eric Groover? Anything you guys want to say about him while he's here with us watching? Anything about Eric? Any stories?
Eric Groover. When I met him, I thought we weren't really gonna be friends because he's very serious when you first meet him. But then when preseason came in, I know for a fact he recognizes too. I feel like we created a bond since we both came from a South American countries. We both our families emigrated, so I feel like that was something that sparked up even the connection more. And he became one of my closest friends. He still is one day to this day, and I hope that he's still going to be for many more years. I have to be given a big shout out. He has a really big heart. He's very hardworking, and I hope to see them win next year. I want to see him score a lot of goals next year.
I certainly hope so. And Pedro wants to give us a dog emoji. I don't know why he gave us the dog emoji, but thank you, Pedro, for tuning in. And if the guys and gals are here for the first time, make sure you give us a sub button on YouTube at Sportswire Radio 6579 because Coach Facina is supposed to actually be back here next Tuesday. So I'm actually expecting Coach to be back on the show. So hopefully I'll have Coach on and maybe have him share a few thoughts on this interview and maybe this moment and some other things that are on his mind. But I want to ask you guys this question. I won't ask you many more because obviously in the interest of time, and I know you guys are out and about and obviously getting ready for a number of different things. Again, we're very honored to have on here the Wong brothers, Adrian and Saeed. They have been integral components of the Five Town Sound men's soccer team over the years. And before I do that, actually, Coach Brendan Wells is here. Oh, the Wongs teaming up. And by the way, happy belated birthday to Coach Wells. And I have to ask the question for you guys. You can say nothing on it if you want, but have you been there at dinner tables between Coach Facina and Coach Wells? Because after all, that would be an interesting dinner table discussion between those two guys, considering now that they're actually brothers.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very interesting occasion.
Very interesting. I mean,
I hope to be a part of it. I know that Coach Vecina started this little tradition that a couple of weeks before the start of the new season, he takes out the seniors for a little dinner.
yeah.
So I'm very looking forward for that. I'm very excited for that.
Now, where is that dinner? Is it at McDonald's? Is it King Umberto's? I mean, where exactly does Coach Facina decide to go to dinner? I mean, I think that's a topic off there which I won't get into because I like Coach Facina. I want him back on the show. But, where does seniors go to dinner with? Where do they go to for and what? I think that's a fun question to ask if I can.
Yeah, well, Tom, just as you, I want to ask that same question myself. I have no idea. I mean, he kind of mentioned it once that I said something, and he said that the dinner was not till for another month, another months. But he mentioned the name, but I can't remember it right now.
Well, Adrian, you were saying you graduated already. Were you invited to this dinner at one point?
Did. Not yet, because I was planning on coming back, but circumstances, like I said, the injuries and all that stuff,
Gotcha.
gonna let me play. That's why. So I'm still waiting for that invitation too. So, Christine, if you're hearing this, I'm still waiting. All right.
Well, Coach Wells has told me about the dinner, but I'm not going to put the comment on the screen here. I'll let obviously you guys watch that on there because I've been told that I can leave this comment off the screen and you guys can read it back on YouTube. So I'll leave that at that. Obviously, I hope it's a great dinner, whatever it might be. Hopefully, it's one that'll certainly fulfill all your dreams of dinner and everything else in between. But I wanted to ask you guys then this question, which I wanted to originally before Coach Wells came on. And again, shout out to Coach Wells. Also, congratulations to Coach Wells because he's becoming a daddy soon. So obviously, we want to wish him, very well, and his obviously, beautiful wife, who's Coach Facina's sister. I mean, like I said, I'm not going there. I'm certainly staying out of that one because I got my own troubles on Sportswire Radio between wrestlers that fight each other. I've been in the middle of that, and I'm going to certainly stay out of that because I want to plead the fifth. But I did want to ask you guys, what do you think about the program going forward? Will you stay involved? I mean, what do you think on, things that you see from the program going forward? And if you would, stay involved at least, on the side and see the program continue to have the success. I'm curious on what you guys think on that.
I
My
think
brother's gonna go first.
as long as we're breathing, we will always be part of Five Towns. That's part of my life and become my family. So even though in 10 years maybe I will still come and watch a few games of them, I'll still be around. Hopefully Vecinas is still around, Coach Rolls too. So yeah, I think I hope to see this team grow so much up to NCAA D1, hopefully one day. Yes, and all the good luck to the school too.
Amen.
From this
Amen.
point, yes.
Amen. Amen. For you, Saeed, you have a thought on that? Where do you want to see the program go? Are you going to be involved or watching from afar? I'd just be curious on that before we move on to a few final things.
Sure. Well, I certainly hope to still be around for as many more years as I can. Obviously, a couple more years, and the people that I know are going to be gone. But the coaching staff is always going to be there. God first, I hope for them. And I want the school. I want the school to keep moving up. I want the school to keep moving up. I want us to move from USCAA D2 to D1, and then from there go to NCAA D3, and then from then D2 and D1. I want the school to grow, and I have a lot of big aspirations for me and my brother. Hopefully one day, there's this little kind of dream that I have that I hope one day to be able to donate anything that I know that the team is gonna need. That can be goal nets or whatever, because we have the equipment. But I wanna be able to one day be able to give back everything that I got from being a part of this family at Five Towns College. Give them a
Amen
little
to
love.
all that. Amen to all that. And I want to say also, you can follow the men's soccer team and get involved in the link right here on Instagram as I've put it up. And I want to say this one thing before I get to one question for you, Saeed. Then I'll ask you guys one more question at the same time. Is that I would love to see Five Towns and all the programs get the heck out of the USCA, because it's if schools like St. Joseph's Long Island, who again you can say nothing on this and say nothing on this actually be the best thing I could say. Schools like St. Joseph's Long Island, who have an abominable athletic department, an abominable social media team, and do nothing compared to what we do at Five Towns, can be quote unquote NCAA D3 schools, or all of the CUNY schools that quote unquote call themselves NCAA schools. To me, it's only a matter of time before Five Towns becomes not only an NCAA D3 school, but maybe even a D2 school. And you know what? I mean, Coach Facina is, after all, a Malloy graduate. I mean, they struggled in a lot of their sports. I know some guys here are Malloy alums, like, other people like Coach Morelli and such. But I think at the end of the day, I have no doubt that Five Towns could definitely be in the same breath, in the same description as schools like Pratt and schools like John Jay and schools like St. Joseph's Long Island, for example. So I think it's only a matter of time. I'm not going to go there and win and where that'll be, but I have no doubt that what we're building here at Five Towns, thanks to the likes of Coach Messina, thanks to the likes of Matt Gershio, thanks to the likes of Corey Jakes, thanks to the likes of Jeff Whitland, thanks to the likes of Brendan Wells and Ettore Morelli and Coach Toppel, that we're going to definitely get there. And 11 Hearts definitely beats his one, and it's going to be more like 110 Hearts, because I think if you do all the teams, I think it counts like 110 Hearts, but different conversation for a different time. But I wanted to ask you, Saeed, this question before I get to one more question for you guys at the same time. Saeed, I got the chance to ask Adrian this question, so I want to ask you the same question. Is there one or two moments that stand out most in your career at Five Towns now that it's come to a close?
Certainly, I could say that the first one would be when we won the HVIAC in 2021. I feel like that countdown when that clock was hitting 10 and we all were yelling from the top of our lungs. I actually couldn't speak for the next 2 days. I actually got
Wow.
Yeah, I got a really big bad sore throat because I was yelling. Because I always knew that even if I couldn't be on the field, I wanted to be able to show my support to my teammates in the field and show them that we were outside, that we were watching them, that we believe in them, so that they can believe in themselves. Because I knew sometimes it's a little struggling inside the field. So I remember that that's one. And the second one, I would say it will be this year's victory against Berkeley College.
Yes. Yeah, we spoke about that with Facina. Yep.
On a rainy day.
And they were number one. They were number one ranked. It was another win. That was the win, I think, that got us in the tournament, probably.
Yes. We showed that because they were saying, and me, as a matter of fact, our field was a little messed up because it was raining a lot that day, but we did not want to get that game canceled. We did
We had
not
too many
want that.
canceled games that year.
Yes, too many. Yes, and that day we won 5-0. I remember I came in the first half around the minute. I think it was like around 25 minutes left, and I had a I think one of the best games that game. I had that left side really on lockdown. I was helping my teammates clearing the ball, and the adversities in the field were for both parts. The same way it was for Berkeley, it was for us as well. But we weren't just bickering and trying to play it off. We just decided to go to things and get the job done, and that's what we did. The happiness, the feeling right after that, it's something that I don't think I've never felt in my life before, and it's something really good, that feeling.
I think it's always good, and I say it every year we're on the air. It's always good to beat Berkeley because let's be honest, Berkeley is our biggest rival here at Five Towns, and if we can kick Berkeley's butt, it's almost like I'm sure somebody will note this. It's like on Saved by the Bell, and Bayside would always go up against their rivals, and they would always want to beat their rivals. And it was always for us throughout all the years I've been here is we want to beat Berkeley. So if we beat Berkeley, it's mission accomplished. We definitely did that, and it led us into the USCA's once again, and that's why we've won as many championships as we've won in the regular season in conference play, and that's why I have no doubt that the Five Town Sound men's soccer team is on its way to bigger and even better things, and we've accomplished a lot of great things. No doubt over the past 5 years that Coach Facina has been here. Let me ask you guys this last question each before we get to close out. And obviously, I could ask you guys 100 questions. I hope to have you guys back on before maybe go on tour and release new music. Maybe we'll get you guys on for that. But I think also we're going to get you guys on in a matter of weeks to put the 2021 team into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame because that's something I'm dead serious about. And I'm dead serious that I want as many of you guys from that team to be here live to share in that moment. So that I'm dead serious about. So Coach Facina, give me the thumbs up on that. Obviously, any of you guys, anybody else that you play with is welcome to be here, and I want to make that day very special. But before I do that, I want to ask you guys each, and what will you miss most about Five Towns?
Okay. I go.
I know it's a tough. I know it's a loaded question. I know it's a loaded one.
It is.
It's a complicated question. Well, my brother thinks I think I have my answer. I would say that the most that I'm gonna miss is gonna be playing soccer over here. Even though we didn't have the best facilities, we didn't have the best equipment, not the top gear one at least. Even though we had really good equipment, we were geared up by Nike, we were geared up by Capelli, had so much things. I think it's gonna be that. It's gonna be that playing for the team. Just those moments, we switch class and we're like waiting for practice with our teammates playing in the downbeat, just kicking it around. I think those are going to be memories that are going to be living in our minds forever, not only for myself, but for all of the people that have been part of this program.
That's a good one. That's a really, I hadn't thought of it the way you answered that, but that's a great way to answer. It's always the memories, wearing the jersey, just having the uniform, that pride. I think that always means most. It doesn't necessarily always mean stats. It's a great way to answer it. For you, Adrian, what will you miss most about Five Towns?
Same as my brother. I think it's the reason why I went to Five Towns, and it's to play soccer.
You said business management. I remember when I interviewed you, you said you were a business management major.
Yes, and today I can say I completely graduated from Five Towns College, being a business manager. So yes, thank you. And yeah, probably the thing that I'm gonna miss the most is gonna be playing soccer. Same thing, that feeling going into the field. Even though it was muddy and all dirt, it don't matter. As long as I had the ball on my feet, I could play with my ball.
Listen, when you were on that field, I mean, we saw what you did. That 18 goals as a freshman, and conference, player, honorable mention, rookie of the week. I mean, everything you did that year. I mean, you You were special, man. I gotta be honest. I mean, Saeed was special because he was the guy that was the middle of the defender, and he basically put the field on lock and defensively did so much for us. But you, when you had that ball, it was poetry in motion. And I don't want to go into the what ifs, but when you had that ball, when you did have the ball those times, and you put that ball into the net, and you scored for us. I mean, it was really special. It was just you were a big reason. That 2019 team also in a lot of ways is going to be special to me because it's the first year of the program rebooting. And that's the team in a lot of ways, 9-4-1. And, we have the win over Berkeley, October 23rd, 2019, and how we fought that second half of the season, all the guys that were here. And, that team, I think, is very special too. Look, all the teams that have been here have been special. I mean, there's been no team that's been disappointing at Five Towns at the men's soccer level here with Jason. But I think that 2019 team, that season you had, is going to be really, really special. And, I'm going to miss you guys, honestly. And obviously, we're going to have you guys back on here to induct the 2021 team. And we're going to have you more on for music and such. But I'm going to really... You guys were awesome, and following you guys on social media, through the Five Towns athletic pages, 5towns_sound. Obviously, what was so special here about Five Towns was everybody bonded together. It really was 11 hearts beating as one. It really was family here. Everybody at Five Towns, I think, with the basketball teams, the soccer teams, esports, and the coaches. Most of the coaches, maybe except one coach, but I'm going to save that for a different discussion. But for the most part, we were all together. And I think that Five Towns really was family. And a lot of schools say that, but they weren't. Five Towns has always been what it's said to be and intended to be, and that's why I'm so thankful that you guys came on. We got a chance to recognize you today, and I want to say hello to a couple of people before closing thoughts. Coach gives you the hand clap, and maybe that's Coach on the softball field, maybe trying to see if he'll hit a home run over Coach Vicina. Boy, I would not want to be at the dinner table when those guys are arguing about softball. But Coach Wells is a happy man because his New York Islanders won back-to-back games, and they actually could still make the playoffs. Why? I don't know, but that's a different conversation for a different time. And we love you too, Eric, and we want to see you on this platform. I want to say hello to my buddies out in the state of Alabama, the Alliance Wrestling League, who just had a great show on YouTube. They are doing phenomenal things. They're kicking ass. They're kicking butt. And a couple of their guys are in our Hall of Fame, like ADT and like Hillbilly Tilly. And I want to say thank you to the guys for their support because they gave me some merchandise like the merchandise I have right here. So let's say hello to our friends at the Alliance Wrestling. They're moving closer to 500 subscribers. So Alliance Wrestling on YouTube. Hit that sub. But I want to thank my buddy Hillbilly Tilly also because I had a fantastic conversation with him before I went on the air. And Hillbilly is a big fan of Sportzwire Radio, and he listens to some of the shows and some of the stuff like you guys being on the show. So thank you to our buddies out there. We love everybody out there on Sportswire, and Coach Wells gives me the hand praying because he's probably praying that the Islanders win out and make the playoffs. But different conversation for a different time. I'm going to give you guys closing thoughts. We are certainly so honored to have had you here together, and it's not every day you get brothers the same time who play with each other and also play on a number one ranked team in the country, went to a national championship game, and they're here live with us. No, we got a chance to recognize the program they play for. So I'm going to give you guys closing thoughts. Adrian, I'm going with you first. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say? It has been an absolute honor, and I can't wait to have you on in the coming weeks to induct you guys formally into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame.
Yes, we can't wait to come back. Thank you. I think in my mind, all I can say is thank you to every single person that was part of my journey in Five Towns, every single person that helped me out during all these years. I'm very grateful for everything. I'm very grateful for everybody that I met in the school, and I hope to keep seeing Five Towns keep growing through the years. I hope to keep being able to come to the games. I hope to keep to be able to see success. To see success out of the school.
Amen. Amen to all that. And I want to make sure also that we follow you guys. When I put up that banner up one more time, that's how you can follow the guys. They have some music up there. Check them out on YouTube. Check them out on Instagram. Please make sure you support those guys. And Saeed, I want to give you closing thoughts as well. And anything else you want to plug, share, or say. And it's been an absolute honor to have you. We'll definitely see you guys when it comes to the Hall of Fame ceremony here on Sportswire Radio. I want to thank all of our listeners out there. Over 30 people watching us right now. So a lot of people, a lot of new fans have been coming to Sportswire Radio lately, and I can't thank them enough. So, Saeed, I want to give you the floor, give you some closing thoughts. Anything else you want to plug, share, say, the floor is absolutely yours.
Well, first of all, Tom, thank you for having us over at your radio show, Sportswire, great sports show.
Thank you very much for the endorsement. I appreciate that.
Thank you. It was a great pleasure and honor to be here. First of all, just I want God to bless Five Towns College men's soccer team and Five Towns College athletics programs for as long as it can be possible. I want them to grow. I want the team to grow a little more, especially with the men's soccer, because they always have, it's my team. It's always gonna be FDC on 3, family on 6. It's always gonna run like that. And just wish them the best. And I have a little news to the people that are watching right now for the Wongs. Today we actually confirmed our first performance that is gonna be happening on April 19. We're gonna be posting the official flyer for our first performance as artists with the flyers, so we can buy the tickets. It's just $20 for the tickets. Whoever's there, it's gonna be very much appreciated. Gonna be posting the flyer either today.
And tag me if you do it on Instagram. You can tag me on Instagram. I want to actually put that out there. You're absolutely more than welcome to tag me. Anything you guys ever post, and I offer this to people all the time on this platform, you can tag me, and I'm happy to share, whatever I can do to help you guys. I'm here for you.
Thank you so much, Tom. We appreciate it a lot. Thank you for having us over. It was great. It was
a lot of fun. This was way better than 4 years ago, Adrian. The first time I interviewed, I listened back to it. I'm like, wow, my voice sounds different. My intros sound different.
My Instagram profile on this.
Yeah, it's so funny. We did it 4 years ago, and it was like the audio was muddy. It was like, this was way better. I'm so happy we got a chance to do that. By the way, before I get to closing thoughts from us officially to say goodbye, I gotta say hello to our old friend Robbie Munoz. Robbie Munoz is here. Oh boy, we're going way back in the time machine. Robbie Munoz, no stranger to us on Sportswire Radio. I remember like it was yesterday we spoke with Robbie Munoz. Robbie Munoz is here. Shout out to one of my favorite artists. He says, "Saeed, I love you," and we love Robbie Munoz. And we gotta get Robbie Munoz back on the show because we gotta go back down memory lane and get back to the people that we'd had on from 4 years ago. And it's crazy that time flies. And listen to that interview. It was like COVID was happening. We think this is going to go and this is going to go. And it was like, now, thank God we got over that and we're here live. And look at all the improvements we've made to everybody. And Robbie Munoz, thank you so much for being here with us. And I hope you'll be here when we induct the 2021 team officially into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. We're going to get to Coach Facina on that for more details. And we're going to certainly have him, I think, here next Tuesday night in your chair and your chair as well. And Pedro says here, I think I love my favorites. Is that what he's saying?
My favorite brothers.
Oh, I was close. Yeah, I was close.
Yeah,
I did.
You were close.
I did take Spanish in junior high school and high school. I can't say I know a lot, but I did attempt. I attempted to go to school. I can't say I went to school. I attempted to go to school, but different conversation for different. Because obviously, I'm trying a career on stand-up comedy. Because obviously, I know this is not going to work out, and we'll try stand-up comedy. But obviously, it has been an absolute honor to have these guys one more time. Follow them at FTC Men's Soccer. Check them out on YouTube, Instagram. They're going to tag me for their first show coming up, which is going to be 17 days from now, and we're going to see them on the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame show to induct the 2021 team. And one more time on this date It is Five Town Sound men's soccer team. You're going to hear that loud and proud. The sound is definitely on. Thank you to everybody at Five Towns that has supported us, and especially the men's program, the entire team, the entire coaching staff, all the alums, the boosters, Matt Gershio, and everybody else that's watching us here tonight. Gentlemen, congratulations on the new single. Congratulations on the YouTube success. Congratulations on that first show. A rising tide will always lift all boats. You will definitely do that. You are the definitions of all sports matters here on this platform. I can't wait to see you back here real soon. I can't wait to see that flyer and can't wait to hear some more music. And thank you so much. Congratulations on all the success. And I can't wait to see you here soon on Sportswire Radio for round 2.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Wong brothers. That's right, Adrian and Saeed Wong, who have completed their careers at the Five Town Sound men's soccer team. Adrian last year, Saeed this year, and the guys were a part of some magical moments. That 2019 team defeating number 1 ranked Berkeley, 2021 being number 1 in the country, going all the way to the USCA's, the national championship game. Last year's team, this year's team, back in the USCA's, and they're going to certainly talk about that more when the 2021 team is formally inducted into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Also, congratulations to Coach Jason Facina on being the head coach of the United States Amputee men's soccer team. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice of all wrestling, where all wrestling matters, all sports matters. I am the owner of Sportswire Radio, the number 1 global radio station. And if you're on YouTube here and you're following us for the first time, hit that sub button for us at Sportswire Radio 6579. We have live sports shows Friday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you like soccer, football, basketball, baseball, whatever it is, we'll talk about it. Come on down, hang out with us anytime. If you're on sportswireradio.org, you're going back to your regular scheduled programming. I'll be here tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, to induct the late, great Kurt Acid into our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number 1 global station that is Sportswire Radio, where all sports matters. And hear the sound loud and proud. 11 hearts beating as one. Thank you, everybody, and God bless.